As U.S. health policy experts basically beg folks to take the shot and increase our levels of vaccinations, the New York Times is reporting on a private school in Miami that threatened the employment of teachers who did just that, who got the vaccine and told students to not hug their vaccinated parents for more than 5 seconds. It has become, amid all the backlash, a beacon for anti-vaxxers. From the Times story, quote, Inside Center Academy, hundreds of queries from all over the world came in for teaching positions. According to the administration, more came from people who wanted to enroll their children at the school, where tuition runs up to $30,000 a year. Meanwhile, the Miami Herald reports some parents see the school's actions as insane and dangerous, but that very few familiar with the school's co-founder were surprised. Quote, she was always talking about doctors that seemed fringy. And there were all these weird emails. Are masks really good for youth's mental progress, said Greg Tater, the parent of a first grader. They screamed Republican, Trump, anti-COVID. And last week, in response to the anti-vaccine threats made by the school, the White House defended public health guidelines meant to, quote, keep children, parents, teachers, and communities safe. Joining us now is Miami Herald reporter Colleen Wright, who is bylined on that special report, Inside Center Academy. Claire is still here. Just tell us what we need to know about this school. What was it known for before it became this basically international beacon for anti-vaxxers, Colleen?
Sure. It's important to know that the school is founded by two very wealthy parents who did not think any of the schools in Miami were up to par, so they made their own. And it started off as kind of an eccentric school. It opened relatively recently, like midway through the 2019-2020 school year, just before the pandemic. And it focused on organic, gluten, and sugar-free meals, parent workshops on conscious parenting, meditation and use of crystals, and physical activity. There was like a 3,000 square foot playground on top of the school. There's a brand new school that they built. There's even a chiropractor on staff at the school for adjustments for both students and staff. So the building you're seeing right now, that's a brand new building that was built here in Miami. That is where the preschool building is. And there's also an elementary and middle school campus not too far from there.
Colleen, have any families left because of the disinformation about vaccine safety?
A few, yes. We've talked to a few. A lot of them have actually signed non-disparagement and even in some cases, non-disclosure agreements. Or I'm sorry, non-disclosure agreements and then non-disparagement agreements. Some of them have, that was kind of a condition, whether they wanted to pull their child out of the school. Some have left, depending on the grades and depending who we talk to. There also have been a lot of a few staff members who also have left, and they were also asked to sign non-disclosure agreements.
Colleen, my friend and colleague Claire McCaskill has a question for you.
Colleen, first of all, I'd love to figure out why a parent has to sign anything to take their child out of a school where the science teacher is not teaching science, but conspiracy silliness. I wanted to ask about some of the other bizarre things. I mean, if you're a parent and they're telling your child to wrap their shoes in saran wrap and there's crystals and they're talking about reinforcing the windows so that radioactive materials, I mean, this is all sounds like Looney Tunes stuff. Is it now getting through to more people in the community since your initial reporting that these people are not mainstream when it comes to how we educate children?
Sure. So just to go back, the saran wrap detail that we had in there was actually at the open house in 2019. So I've actually been to the school 3 times pre-COVID just to interview and find out what the school was about. I think some parents, a lot of the parents actually who were at Centner were absorbed from another school that Centner Academy actually bought out in Miami, and they thought school year was going to be normal. It was a little eccentric, but it was going to be fine. And they soon learned after a while that part of their reopening plan of mandatory masks, social distancing kind of fell to the wayside. Many teachers and parents actually say that Layla Centner, one of the co-founders, actually encouraged students, parents, staff to not wear masks. And I think after a while, some parents kind of got sick of it or thought this was maybe a little too much. I know for one parent, actually, he was actually pretty fine with the liberal use of masks, and he was okay with that, but he actually drew the line at stopping staff from not being vaccinated or saying that, we have a policy that it is our intention to not employ anyone who's not vaccinated. And for some people, that was a line, but some people have been leaving even before that.
Colleen, can you just speak to the politics of the owners? Are they friends or allies or supporters of the Republican governor and the ex-president?
Yes, they've made several donations to President Trump and also Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, as well as local Republicans here. The race for Miami-Dade County mayor is actually nonpartisan, but it has become partisan. The school actually held a fundraising event for Steve Bovo. He actually lost to our current mayor, Daniela Levin Cava. So they've held events at the school. They were maskless. There's tons of photos online. And they actually also donated to a few Democrats as well. The Stentners, they're a husband and wife couple. They've recently, around 2018, 2019 or so, moved back to Miami and have immersed themselves with Miami's power players and have made a few donations to kind of solidify their position here in Miami.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.